Hello, this is I Do Damage and welcome back to the channel. In this Gunfire Reborn video, I want to talk about elements and how they all interact with each other in the game. This is going to be a very short and sweet video, hopefully, just to kind of get this across. I think most people have a grasp of this idea, but I just want to make it clear. Within Gunfire Reborn, there are 4 different elements. Okay, you have 3 elements and then a neutral one. Let's just go ahead and talk about them real quick. You have shock, which comes from lightning type weapons, obviously. And it's all color coded. So lightning shock damage, which is blue, does more damage to blue bars. Or you could think of them as like energy shields, I guess. The next element we have in Gunfire Reborn is your corrosion damage, which is a green type of poison type of damage, which does more damage to yellow bars. So those don't match up. You just have to remember that one. Our third element then is fire, which does more damage to red or health bars. I'm not sure of the exact percent that you get from a bonus damage, but I think I read somewhere that it's somewhere around 50% more damage dealt than you would if you're not matching the bar, okay? Or not matching the elements. And then that brings me to the fourth element, which is neutral, which is basically no element. So I'm kind of calling it an element anyway. But basically it's just neutral and it just does the same amount of damage. I don't think it gets any bonus damage whatsoever. But you'll see some guns that have that and then can maybe get an inscription to give them an element. So these are all things to kind of keep in mind, right? So with 3 main elements and only being able to hold 2 special guns, you're going to want to have at least a second player with you so that you can then balance all 3 to 4 of the different elements, right? That is the goal anyway. If you're like me and you play solo and matchmake, I kind of just try to see what other players are doing and then kind of tailor my guns into that to kind of benefit the group. But, you know, that's just me being a min-maxer and trying to deal the most damage, I guess. So now that you know, by matching the color of the element to the shield, so blue for energy shield, green goes to the yellow armor shields, and then red for fire goes to the health bars. If you don't match those colors, you're not getting the damage bonus, and in turn doing less damage. Another thing about elements that I want to talk about real quick is if you can inflict multiple elements on the same enemy, there's going to be 3 different outcomes. You can see what element is being affected on each enemy displayed under their health bar on the heads up display. You can see a lightning bolt for shock. There's a flame for fire, obviously, and then corrosion is a green looking poisony type thing. But if you mix these and have 2 different elements, the enemies will then do something different. The first one is shock and burn mixed together turns into manipulation. And what this does is it's supposed to make the monsters attack each other. I haven't actually seen this in practice, but it sounds cool. Another combination that you can mix is your burn and decay. And what happens when you have burn and decay on one monster is they do an explosion dealing AoE damage. The last combination that you'll find in Gunfire Reborn is your shock plus decay. So your blue plus green. And that is going to be a miasma, which is an AoE type of damage over time element that spreads throughout enemies. So it's just an AoE, damage over time, spreading curse-like thing. And that one is displayed in purple, and I have seen that in practice, as well as the explosions. I've seen those 2 actually work with my own eyes, so it's all true. And it did take me a while to actually figure these out. To be honest, I did use the Steam guide for these element combinations, which I will have linked down in the description below in case you just want to pull it up and have something to look at, just maybe as like a cheat sheet in case you forget. But anyway, that's going to be it for the Gunfire Reborn element guide, I guess we could call this, right? One last tip, and I mentioned it a little bit earlier, is on your guns, pay attention to the inscriptions, because some of the inscriptions can change the element on your gun. So just because you have a default lightning weapon, you can get an inscription that changes the element on there. So you do want to pay attention. I personally like to have at least 2 different types of elements, depending on the gun and inscriptions, of course, because you can get some crazy inscriptions that just change the whole game. I mean, there's an inscription that allows you to have a 25% chance to just instantly kill an enemy on a critical hit. And if you have a gun that can shoot really crazy fast, I think you can do the math there. It's chaos. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me. I can't thank you guys enough for all your support and time in watching these videos. I hope you found something useful in this Gunfire Reborn video. If you did, don't forget to share it with all your friends. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you like all the content. And also ring that bell notification to get notified when I post new videos throughout the week for different games. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.